If you're a business owner, a publisher, a producer, a writer, an artist, at some point you're going to want a team in order to keep your independence popping, all right? Independence is the theme of the day and everybody wants it, but there's a certain level that you get to where you say, I cannot do this all on my own, I need a team. Truthfully, what we really want is to make as much money as possible without the major record labels in our way. We all understand this. So you got a few problems to tackle here. You got too much on your plate and you need a manager. Your music isn't popping and you need some dope writers and producers. You're getting money, but legal troubles are right there on the horizon. You want to keep all your royalties without the middlemen. And finally, you want to make more money with your music. That's why you're watching this channel. Now, if you're suffering from any of these three problems, you're probably pulling your hair out or racking your brain about how you're going to get out of this situation. And you should know how to get out of this situation to keep your independence and to grow faster. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode of the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham, and look, I can definitely tell you that I've suffered from some of these issues that you're suffering from, and some of them I'm still going through right now. So the first thing that I did was I hired an assistant. Didn't really necessarily need the manager, but it will become a manager at some point, so I worked on a virtual assistant thing, right? It's working out pretty cool, but I do have a lot more tasks I need to take off my plate. But let's talk about you. What are you going to do about the situation that you're in right now? I do want to make this clear. You are the president of your operation right now. You're the person who's handling everything. But one by one, you need to start to take these things off of your shoulders and delegate these tasks to people. You will remain the president of your operation, but the president cannot run without the cabinet of people that helps everything run inside of your own business and your operation and what you do. Okay, so now that you have that clear, let's address the first person. Now, the first person you're going to need is your manager or your general manager. And be clear, the topic we're talking about here is for your label, but you can parallel some of these rules with an artist manager if you want to. Your general manager is going to either be a female if you're a male, or a male if you're a female. It's like that yin and yang type of thing, right? They have to fit together. You get what I'm saying. Okay, this person is going to be your first big help because they're really going to see your vision. And if they don't see your vision, then this is probably not the general manager for you. You don't just want to hire somebody, but you want them to see where you're trying to go. And if you show it to them and they can clearly understand where you're trying to go, then this is going to be the right person for you. They do have to be capable though, okay? And they're going to have to understand the many departments that your record label will have. And in order for them to be the general manager of the operation, they will have to understand how these departments work with what they do. Now let's talk about your attorney or your legal department. In the beginning, you're probably pulling these contracts off of Google or some contract site where you can just download a bunch of them and you can go to work. The thing is, you don't really know how to read these contracts yourself. It's going to take you a while to learn how to do that, and you're going to need somebody in place once the money starts rolling in and the offers start coming in contractual form, or you're going to want to put these offers in contract form. You're going to need this attorney. Now, I know there's going to be a span of, let's say you have the first year, nothing's really happening. You're still building, you're still developing. You can't really afford the retainer, or you can't really afford a lot of consultations. So you will default to google.com as your attorney. We get this, but try not to stay here that long because you're going to need some ironclad contracts for some of the agreements that will be coming across your table, maybe performances, maybe people who want to license your record and use your records in different ways, shape, forms, and fashion. So understand, I know you don't have time to read these contracts and you don't fully understand what you're reading. And plus you want to keep the bullies at bay, the bullies that actually write stuff in black and white on paper. You want to keep these people at bay because a lot of times they might not say anything to you, but it'll be in the fine print. And as you grow, you're not going to be able to detect that. So we need to get the attorney ASAP to the team. Now let's talk about your A&R department. In the beginning, everybody's going to be the A&R, but at some point your plate becomes too full with trying to find people to work with, right? You have your flavor, but there are other people who can see more things for you, and you're going to want to have this person in place as a help, as an aid to find things for you, right? So they can learn your style and say, okay, he or she is looking for this type of thing, these types of hooks, these types of songs. Let me go out and find this person. all right, or these people. This person should definitely be well connected in the streets, and as I like to call, like a certified beat slinger. This person should have relationships with all the writers, all the producers, even other artists in your area, your region, or just in the industry in general. You'll find them, it's like, this is the person with the bag of beats that's always flowing through the studio. It's like, yo, you know, they're always trying to sell something in the studio. It's like the person that comes in the barbershop. This person can be known as a producer manager, a songwriter manager, or a song plugger. Either way, they're always slinging the beats, and you want to find this person so that you can get the best quality. This person always has the best quality in their bag, and you want that. You want the best possible records that you can get. So hire an independent A&R out there in the streets. And I'll mention something on this later, but the only way you're going to get that is if you really start networking out here. Our next portion, or our next part of the company that we have to establish, is our admin department. Hear me out. I am big on in-house admin. I love in-house admin. In fact, I do my own admin. But here's what you need as an artist and as a record label owner. If you start to hire out your admin services too early, right? Hear me out. You're going to start to cut into the money, and the money is going to start to delay. Like the income will delay. It will slow down the amount of income that the label starts to receive. And you don't want to do that. So you definitely want to keep your admin in-house as long as possible before the in-house admin is not capable of keeping up with the demand of the songs that you have on file. There will be a point where your catalog grows too big for the DistroKid account you have and for that Teams function DistroKid has, or if you have United Masters, it's going to grow too big for the royalty split function that United Masters has. And at that point, you're going to need a dedicated person who can keep track of all the songwriter royalties and producer royalties mainly. This is from the record label side. And if you have your own publishing, all of the publishing royalties, right? I mean, for you, it's pretty easy. But let's say you do deals where you purchase the publishing of producers in your producer agreements. Well, somebody's going to have to take care of that. So it just depends on the agreements that you do, but you're going to want your admin to stay in-house until it cannot stay in-house anymore, and until you can stomach the fact that, okay, we can stand to wait 6 months for our royalties now. Okay, we've made enough cash and we can wait 6 months, and we're trading that time in exchange for more deeper analytics, deeper analyzation on the royalties, deeper collections on the royalties, and sometimes with these extra admin services, more exploitation in areas we weren't actually working. That's when you go and you hire your independent admin. Now let's talk about marketing and sales. This department is not the same as a marketing department for the artist. The artist needs marketing in terms of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you know, whatever you're using, right? You got to figure that's totally different than your record label marketing department, okay? The marketing department and the sales, shall I say, department for the record label is the department that will handle all things licensing, all things exploitation for the song. That is what the marketing department is for. It may look almost identical to the marketing department for the artist, but it is not. It is strictly for marketing the record. So whereas the artist may say, hey, I want to do some influencer marketing with me personally, with another influencer, maybe we do a video together. The record label will say, hey, I want to do some influencer marketing and get them to use my song. See what I'm saying? So the marketing department for the artist will market the artist. The marketing department for the record label will market the songs that the record label owns. Two different marketing departments, but they run a fine line. Now, if you can't do this yourself, I'd say the first option for you would be to default to a sync agent. At least they can handle some licensing for you. And then while you're working on getting the exploitation done on your end for influencers and social media, at least they can have some extra income coming in from the exploitation of the masters at the sync agency with all the music supervisors. Question is, should you do all of this when you're first beginning? The answer is absolutely not. Reason why is you don't have your feet wet in the game yet. You may say, Casey, oh man, whatever, dude. Like, we should just do it from the beginning. No, hear me out. You don't have enough income. You don't have enough clout for some of these categories to open up. You can get the attorney in the beginning, but they're not going to last very long with you because you don't have the money to keep paying them. You can go for the sync agent in the beginning, but your songs aren't up to par enough for the agency to say, yes, this is a go, and you don't understand how to write with that. You can't go and get the marketing agency in the very, very beginning if the music isn't dope enough for influencers to say, or your final project isn't done for influencers to say, ooh, I do want to do a dance to that. I do want to do something in my videos to that song. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to go to an A&R or hire an independent A&R in the beginning because you can't afford the beats that they're bringing, the songs that they're bringing. So there's all this is happening in time. All of this is happening in time, and you also can't go get the manager in the very beginning because you have nothing to manage yet. Now you may say, aren't these people expensive? And I'll say it costs. It costs to be the boss. I'm not going to say that they're expensive. I'm just going to say it's the cost of doing business. But leverage is key. Lastly, will it be easy to find these people? No. It also goes back to what I just said. Leverage is key. It's not going to be easy to find these people. You do have to network at these music industry functions, online, on LinkedIn. You have to find these people. And some of these people you won't be able to find online. You just have to be in it to find these people. Okay? If not, then you have to assign some of these tasks to the people you want to bring on personally. But some of these people are already working and they can get you going faster than you can educate someone and hire someone on staff. Okay? So it's not going to be easy to find these people, but you will have to shake your fears of networking to make this happen. So here's what I suggest. After all of that, I do suggest booking a call with me so that we can figure out where you are and who you need to hire first. Because some of you may need to hire 3 people. You may need to look for 3 people. Some of you just probably need that general manager first. Then I want you to start networking for some real plugs in the game. Let me tell you, if you don't know where to start, some of you can start at the Recording Academy. Some of you can start at BMI and ASCAP and go to their industry functions and events in the cities that they have them. Just look at their calendar. Either way, start with some music industry mixer or something in your local area that you can find, that you can go to and start finding your attorneys, your managers, all these other people and whatnot. Now, for the things that require tasks like marketing, sometimes you can find these people on Fiverr or Upwork to start. I'm not saying they're going to be the greatest, but there are some really good people on there. So you can look on Fiverr or Upwork to get some things started for your label, maybe some social media working or some influencer stuff, because there are influencers on there who are willing to do stuff. You just have to check them out. All right, so it's just how creative you can be. So look on there and get your network up. And then finally, I want you to grab the 60-day record label and start to build that structure that you need for your record label. Or if you've already started and you need to correct your structure, grab the 60-day record label and flush it out so that you can actually thrive. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that we're trying to do is advance your career. And we're going to use this team of people to grow you from maybe your 4-figure spot to the 7-figure spot that many people want to be. You're definitely going to stay independent longer, and then the stress that was on your shoulders will be removed, right? So when you exit the game, let's say you hit that 7-figure status, you exit the game with a lot more ownership than if you were to sign a lot of it away to all of these different departments. You're going to sign some things away, but not everything, all right? And that's what we're trying to do, is truly stay independent so you can go and be the next great independent sensation. Hear me out. I don't want you to sell off things that you don't need to, things that you don't need to get percentages of just because you didn't know how to do it, where to go get it, how the thing worked. You get what I'm saying? I want to take you from point A to at least point C or D so that you can see the rest of the path. Because if you sell off too much stuff, then what'll end up happening is you won't have enough fuel to go on, and then you'll end up crumbling and dying. It's like playing, here we go with Monopoly again. It's like playing Monopoly. You play Monopoly and you don't have any property and you keep getting hit with the rental from the houses and the hotels over and over again. We lost it, man. We lost our footing and the game is over. So you got this. If you came in stressed out about your team, at least you have a more clear outlook on what it looks like when you need to hire, or a couple more tips on when you need to hire this team, put them in place, and get rocking and rolling. Anyway, music money makers, my name is Casey Graham, saying if you make music, you should make money. Visit musicmoneymakeover.com, download the 60-day record label, and I'll see you next time. Peace.